Glad to have a few minutes to talk to you guys. It's an interesting time for Mirantis. As you may have heard, we were recently acquired by Iron. And I just want to make very clear that that is a great sign of our capabilities, but in no ways does that take us out of the NeoCloud marketplace. Our competitors like to tell the story that we're too busy now with other stuff. That is the opposite of the truth. We now have the funding and the momentum to take this to the next level. And that's what we're going to talk about, is what this is here today. If you think about the whole process of metal to model, 2 years ago, AI was a pilot. Today, it's running in production across roles, across workflows, across business units. The infrastructure question isn't should we get ready, it's how do we scale what we already have. AI workloads are shifting toward high volume, continuous pipelines. Enterprise AI demand is landing on existing infrastructure, including Dell PowerEdge. As you can see, the daily token consumption by user is going up dramatically. If we add agentic pipelines, you're talking about exponential growth. That usage curve really tells the story, right? A casual employee uses 20,000 tokens a day. The developer using Copilot or Claude Code is at 500,000. The moment you deploy agentic workflows, automated agents running continuously, you're at 10 to 100 million tokens a day. And to steal a line from someone that I heard last night, we're still in the dial-up phase of AI adoption. Think about what happens over the next few years. So there are major constraints in terms of how companies prepare themselves. We have to think about sovereignty and data control, operational complexity, GPU operational gaps, and the shadow AI risk. Private enterprise AI isn't a nice to have. It's the next requirement. Organizations that get it will succeed. Organizations that don't prepare will fall behind on all fronts. So we really focus with businesses on figuring out what private enterprise is. But private enterprise is a platform problem. It's not an AI tooling problem. It's not a hardware problem. It's a turnkey platform problem. And the way that we have to think about this is, according to AI Enterprise, which our platform is a Kubernetes native control plane built specifically to solve the problem we just walked through. One platform that turns your hardware, the servers, the GPU systems, the storage you already have or are planning to deploy, into a production-ready, sovereign-capable private AI platform. The key word is one. One operating model for your virtual machines, for your containers, for your GPU workloads. And three outcomes that matter are the sovereignty by default, the GPU investment realized, and the AI teams unblocked. So what does this mean in practice? First of all, sovereignty by default. Your data, your IP, your inference workloads stay on infrastructure that you own and govern. It's important. Compliance isn't bolted on after deployment. It's built into the platform from day one. For regulated industries here, this isn't a feature, it's a precondition. Second, your GPU investments realized, the numbers are stark. 60 to 80% of all GPU investments are unused or unsuccessful. And then lastly, your AI teams, they need this capability. It is a competitive differentiator. It is the lifeblood of a business, but they can't get access to it because of the lack of knowledge, the lack of systems, and the lack of cohesiveness within. In order to make this a reality, we have to run on AI infrastructure that you already own effectively. And here's how it all fits together. From the bottom, the infrastructure layer, GPU network storage, the hardware you have or are deploying. We support NVIDIA, AMD, Intel. No GPU lock-in. Above that, the compute layer, operating system, container runtime, GPU drivers. The platform layer gives you Kubernetes as a service, bare metal, virtual private cloud, all addressable through the same control plane. The application platform is thought of from metal to model. One system that allows you to operationalize it all. And what we need to think about is, who can we trust where infrastructure can't fail? We have such an exciting group of customers that we've been managing for a long time. Banks, insurance companies, financial institutions, government, DoD, all of these require heavy amounts of security built into their systems, into their process. But how do you think about growing these infrastructures over time? They cannot be static. They must be iterative. They must grow. They must inherit existing GPUs and net new GPUs. You need to match the velocity of the marketplace at large. You cannot do that in a static monolithic system. You have to build with the thought process of iteration. My infrastructure today cannot be the same in a year from now. And instead of having to rip and replace large infrastructures, our platform allows you to grow it, to build it based on your needs and your expected outcomes. We like to talk about outcomes at Mirantis. We want to make sure that companies have the ability to have a partner like us that will work on the design, the architecture, the implementation, optimization, and operationalization for the long term. This is the modern day OS. This is the platform that you use for the next 20 years. A single control plane, everything pre-embedded, so that you don't have to figure out all the technology. We work closely with the major hardware vendors and GPU vendors to bring the technology to bear through the product, not through the bits and parts. This is not pieces for you to assemble at the last second and learn how it works every time. This comes to you configured and capable. So, the AI infrastructure space has many new entrants. Companies that started 18 months ago raised money on a great deck, still figuring out what production at scale means. Mirantis has spent 15 years operating mission-critical infrastructure for the world's most demanding enterprises. OpenStack at scale when nobody else could make it work. Kubernetes at scale before people knew what it was. And now, AI infrastructure. So, covered a lot of ground in the last few minutes. The goal here is to explain and help companies operationalize their GPU footprints and grow it for the long term with the private cloud realities that are required by today's companies. But the goal is here to create the education and the comfort to see that Mirantis represents already the platform of the future. Thank you.